Good morning to everyone. I am Yarlarsi. I am going to present my paper titled as Development of Contextual Crop Ontology for Effective Information Retrieval. In this session, we are going to discuss about my paper's abstract, our paper abstract, introduction, and what is the literature survey that we did, and the problem statement, development of a crop ontology approach, then the conclusion. In abstract, the main aim of this work is to construct a farmer specific crop ontology, which is mainly for effective information retrieval by using a meta-ontology approach and by using a protology tool. The constructed crop ontology is evaluated by executing a Sparkle queries. As a part of this in agriculture field, precision learning is an essential one in order to provide effective and precise farming techniques that will improve the yield of crops. So the knowledge of soil types, irrigation, yields, crop, weather and use of a pesticide is required in order to avoid additional cost. To provide such a precise information to the farmers, we are going to develop an ontology. That ontology is nothing but a domain knowledge is represented in the form of classes, relationships and individuals, which is used for provide a description of objects. Here the ontology is used for explaining the crop terminology, cultivation practices and information about farmers. To do this creation of a crop ontology, we did an exhaustive literature survey on different ontologies that was constructed in agriculture domain. The main research papers are listed in this literature survey. The first one is ICMISC, which is an ontology based search engine which is used for which develops the ontological graph based on RDF dataset for College of Applied Sciences. It uses both keyword as well as a semantic search. Indexing mechanism can be included for a large data set, and it produces somewhat better results for a complex query. So improvement in a complex query execution can be done. And the next paper was a fast semantic object search engine in case of a vegetable trading. Here ontology is constructed for a vegetable transaction facts. In order to improvise this effectiveness of a system, they use a Steiner tree. Thereby they improve the recall and the precision rate, and still the efficiency of an information was low for this ontology. The next paper is ontological approach to meet information needs of farmers in Sri Lanka. First order logic based approach was used to develop a agricultural ontology for farmers. Here the farmers' time cycle, cultivation cycle information is not represented in the ontology. Apart from the ontology, there are other methods are also there for fetching on effective information. One such a technique is going to be in a data mining and clustering techniques. Here these are all the some of clustering and techniques are also employed for fetching agricultural data. After studying this detailed literature survey, we found some motivation to develop a crop ontology in order to improve the preciseness and fastness of agricultural information. So to improve the preciseness, we have to collect the information in the form of a farmer's perspective. The fastness and the relevant information can be fetched if you include a farmer's land information and yearly cultivation details in the crop ontology. If you include the fastness and then relevant agricultural information can be improved. There are plenty of information about Indian farmers' land, and the details are available in different formats. In order to provide an effective information retrieval system, the sufficient information is not available, inadequate information is only sufficient information is not available in the online repositories. And even the information was present, it is different, it was present in a different formats. Because of its different formats, we are not able to develop an effective information retrieval system. For that, we are going to represent all this collective information in an organized or a semi-structured structure using ontology. Thereby, we can improve the precision and recall in information retrieval. Next, we are going to see how the crop ontology was constructed. We followed a meta-ontology approach. By using a protege tool, we constructed a crop ontology, and we validate this crop ontology by executing a Sparkle queries. Reasons for choosing a crop ontology is a level of detail. So we can explicitly perform whatever the activities that we are performed in the construction of an ontology, that can be represented by a systematic methods and then techniques. And next is a meta-ontology approach is widely implemented in many softwares, ontology development softwares like Protege, that facilitates to develop a ontology in an easy way. Next, whatever the informal conception of a knowledge we have about the domain, that can be converted into a semi-representation format in the form of a table and graph notations. So the implementation of a conceptualization phase is better in case of a meta-ontology approach. Next is it is comfortable for ontology developers and researchers because the software tools are available, because we can convert whatever the inceptions about the domain we have, but that can be represented in the form of tables and graphs, so that it can be converted to a software. So comfortable for developers and then researchers. To construct the crop ontology, we have two broadly tasks carried out. One is a task related to an ontology construction. Another one is task ontology management and support activities. To construct this ontology, what are all the activities that we have performed is come under this. The main thing is gaining of a knowledge from the domain experts. From the agricultural experts, we are gather the information about the crop, about the land details, about the diseases, what kind of practices is followed. All the informations we gathered from the domain experts. Then we analyze some existing ontologies like Agropedia. From there, we adopted the crop ontology, and apart from this crop ontology will have a land information and then farmer details, then the cultivation details. These three, by incorporating these three information in the crop ontology, we can provide an effective and then precise information to the farmers. To evaluate the developed crop ontology, we designed some simple and then complex queries that is going to be executed in the crop ontology. To construct this ontology, first we have to build the glossary of a crop and then farmers terms, and then creation of a concept dictionaries, and hierarchy among the concepts, and the relationship among the concepts that we are created. Then defining of a classes and defining of instances. By following these steps, we constructed the tables, graphical notations of a crop ontology. These table representation is converted to a crop ontology by using a tool Protege. So this is a sample one miniature version of ontology that we constructed. One way of measuring this ontology is by using a crop ont matrix. That is, it contains axioms of 570, object property of 50, data property of 70, and individual counts is 131. This is the matrix will be automatically generated when we construct the ontology by using Protege tool. Other than this, to evaluate the correctness of a crop ontology, we created some sample simple and then complex Sparkle queries, and it was executed in a Protege Sparkle query tab, which contains a triples data set of a maximum of 100 individuals. The performance of a crop ontology is measured by using a precision and then recall. the one such a sample query is mentioned here to fetch the details of a crop and farmer who generated the yield more than the average yield during a particular year. Here this is the sample sparkle query that fetches the information of a crop details in the form of a triples for the year of 2020. And this is the experiment results for the simple and then complex query. And based on this relevant items retrieved and relevant items, we calculated a precision and then recall, and the corresponding precision and recall is represented in the form of a graph here. So what is the crop ontology is developed which produces a precision and recall almost average of more than 75%. Still we can improve this precision and recall by incorporating a machine learning, deep learning or a data mining techniques along with the database with the crop ontology. We can achieve a better effective information retrieval systems. As a part of this, some more future enhancements we can do it on the crop ontology, like inclusion of a multimedia files in the crop ontology, and this crop ontology can be developed as a decision making applications for the farmers by incorporating the deep learning, machine learning techniques. Thereby it will helpful for making a decisions to the farmers. So these are all the references. Thank you.